Hello, Aquarius. It's great to see you, quote unquote, after all this time. Um, I have missed doing these readings. This is a monthly reading for September 2022, and I hope it's amazing. September is a great time to start things up. Like if you are from any time in the past where school started in September. I know it's not really traditionally necessarily like that now because lots of people are homeschooled and stuff. I even had my kid homeschooled in the 80s before it was as prevalent a thing as it is now. So, you know, that's all fine and great, but it still has that feeling of fall starting and, let's get into this whole deal of starting up something. And, you know, I know some people sort of think of this time of year as the winter and the end, and I'm a summer girl all the way around, and spring and, everything hot and exciting like that. Like, I hate cold weather. I really, really do. But at the same time, I do love holidays and, the whole September, October to, end of the year kind of thing is all about the holidays. Like, and for me, I have two daughters who have birthdays in October, and then I've got one who has one a few days after New Year's, and then my son is in February. So it's like this whole slew of birthdays amid all the other holidays. So it's like, it's really kind of fun and exciting for me. It's like just total holiday and party time. So, that being said, I do feel really positive about it. Oh, one of my favorite cards just flew out of the deck, so that is not bad. All right, so my darling, adorable Aquarius, we are going to do a reading for you, and let's see where we get. She's been coming up a little bit these days. Wow, this is nice. Haven't seen this card in a while, which is interesting. I love the Fool. Only had it once in these readings. Okay. This is a really amazing reading. I love this reading. Love it, love it, love it, love it, Aquarius. You guys are amazing humans. Okay, let's see what we've got. Let's dive into the court cards first. The court cards are the cards that are people. And some people hate those cards, but I kind of love them. So we've got two here. Just the two? Yes, it is. Okay, so the Queen of Swords, this could be you, Aquarius, because this is an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. And it's a great card, the Queen. Now, okay, I do not do anything that's politically correct. That's not my bag, okay? But I'm going to say this because it's true, and in tarot reading, there is no gender. There never has been. There's gender in the sense that we all have male and female in us, and we all do different roles in life. But even 30 years ago, had I been reading tarot cards, which incidentally I was, because I was raised with tarot cards, I would have done nothing different, and I would have said, if you're kind of doing the home front thing, whether you're male or female, you're a queen, okay? And if you're doing the whole, like, blazing trails in business or whatever realm you do that in, if you're a knight or a king and you're creating a kingdom and you're, being the strong sort of dude, whether you're male or female, if that's your role, it has nothing to do with gender. I mean, it really is all about what you're doing. And I'm not saying that to be nice politically, because I don't care about any of that. Like, I really don't. If somebody hates my guts because I don't go along with the program, I really, honestly, don't care. I'm just telling you that because it really, really is a thing from the inception of tarot cards, from everything I've read, and I have studied on this extensively. It doesn't matter if the person in the card is depicted as a male. It has to do with role, okay? So I'm just putting that out there. If you are happy with that, great. If you're sad with that, I'm really sorry. It's just the way it kind of is. It has to do with what you're doing, which I like because I think actions are more important than pretty much anything else. So So I don't need a tarot deck, although I have zillions where they depict every different, situation you can imagine. But I'm still fine with these traditional ones because they still depict every. It doesn't matter what deck you have. You might like one more than the other because you think it's prettier or nicer, and I've got zillions of those. But the fact is, they all mean the same thing. So take that as you will. So let's get to your reading, which is a lovely reading. I'm trying to decide where to start because I usually dive into the quote unquote negative first, so I'm going to do that here. So you've got the Eight of Swords. And as bad as this card looks, because this person is in bondage, surrounded by swords and with these bonds around her and a blindfold. Sorry, the candles are getting to me. This is all about whip off that blindfold. She is not so tightly bound that she can't get those off of her somehow. It's not even like a cage. It's a bunch of swords stuck in the ground, and the whole front is open. So this is in the mind, and swords are all about thoughts and what's in the mind. So this is bondage of your own making, essentially. And just like it's bondage of your own making, you can dismiss it in the snap of a finger. And so I'm suggesting you do that, my darling Aquarius. You can. You have the power. You are an air sign, and air signs are all about thoughts and intellect. And the thing about you guys is sometimes you overthink things, which is very easy to do because if you have any kind of intelligence, you will overthink things. Don't play things over and over in your mind about the past that went wrong. It's okay. You don't have to do that. Think in a new direction. I want you to cast that aside as much as you can. Be the Queen of Swords. You might be the Queen of Swords because you are an air sign. And this person is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. So you might be the Queen of Swords. She is so amazing at cutting through BS. She is so amazing at being practical. She is so amazing at being judicious, yet it's a little cut and dried, a little cool, a little dispassionate. The right amount of dispassionate to not let things ruin you. So you don't have to. You don't have to. Don't do it. Don't do it. Whatever's going on here in your mind, this can be a little bit of baggage surrounding you. This can be a little bit of, past stuff that you're dwelling on. I want you to stop that. I'm serious. I want you to, I know we're human and we have minds that don't always do what we say, but you are very, very strong. You can get rid of this, especially you've got a beautiful spread of all kinds of power. So let's look at that. Oh, but you also have the King of Swords. And when these two appear together, it's often a marriage. It's often a married couple of two air signs. So I'm wondering if it's any of you. So if you, Aquarius, have a partner in life who is Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, and you guys are a couple, that definitely could be you guys, which is really powerful because you guys are so interesting. Now, Aquarius, I'm not going to say you guys are all over the map. Gemini, I find they're all over the map. Libras, I find, are a little bit more defined. And Aquarius, I don't want to pin you down in any direction. I mean, you guys are air signs. You have all these really interesting qualities, and the intellectual part is definitely a thing. And don't let your thoughts, be your undoing. But you guys are really, really interesting. To me, you're really, really interesting. I would love to have a room full of Aquarius people and see the different ranges and all that. I don't have tons of Aquarius in my life, although I recently met somebody who is amazing and very, very strong, and I really admire her. So anyway, um, so the king, just like the queen sort of rules the home front. Gender is not a thing, but the queen rules the home front and the social calendar for the family, and tends to be more into the kids, the home, the whatever. If there are no kids, it still is about the home and the socialization and all of that. Does not mean this person can't have a very good job, because they often do. Um, the king tends to be a little bit more of a trailblazer, but he is also very intellectual. Could be a job that is sort of intellectual. Or he could just be a very thoughtful person who likes to read, who likes to learn, who likes to put all of that into action. Um, really interesting when we get these together. They tend to be one of the couples, the swords, in the deck who are really powerful. And so when I see this with that, I'm wondering if there's an issue with a marriage. If you have an issue with the marriage where you feel you can't express yourself, or you can't, do the things you want to do that have to do with learning or growing, or, being your normal self. So I would definitely be, that won't be something that is happening with all of you, but it might be with some of you. So I'd love to hear about it if that is the case, and maybe we can have a little further discussion on that, because um, you can definitely get out of this thought process. Like you really, really can. Ace of Cups, a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful card about beginning something you're passionate about. You know, you guys are all about learning and growing that way. So maybe there's something that you've always wanted to learn. Maybe it's taking sign language classes. Maybe it's learning to knit. Maybe it's learning about the Civil War, or reading all the classic books, or reading, books, a whole slew of books that you've been, maybe it's just some fiction that you've wanted to read desperately for a long time and you don't have the time. So I'm going to say that whatever this thing is, that maybe it's a new love. It can be a new love. So, let's never set that on the back burner. So it's passion, it's beginning, it's overflowing. It's all the things that make us, want to live, basically. So latch onto that. And the Page of Pentacles is, I love this card. It's a card I always associate with one of my daughters, my daughter who is a Capricorn, but she does not love this card or consider it like a card to represent her. But it is a lovely, wonderful card. It's a card that is for a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, and for a person who's very young, a child, teenager, or young adult. And it's all about learning to put the things you care about into action. And the things Capricorns tend to care about are earthy things. They're earthy people. They like things they can grab hold of, tangible things. They're very creative. They're great with their hands. They like to take things apart. They tend to be mechanical. They like things that relate to the body. So they might be very, as opposed to quote unquote spiritual, they are very corporeal. They like to talk about body things, body parts, self-care, physical stuff, working out, feeding yourself properly. They also can be hypochondriacs. If you have a child who's like this, they can be kind of a lot as far as, talking about and worrying about body parts and what could be going wrong, internally. So look out for that. And the adults who are earth signs. But this one, the Page of Pentacles, can also be bringing in a message of something like an investment, or like if you've been waiting for news on an investment, or an account that's going to come to fruition, or something like that. Sometimes they're bringing in a message of something to do with an investment. It could be an investment in health, or it could be an investment in wealth. Very interesting card, very happy and positive card, super positive. So this is wonderful. And see, this card is, even though it has negativity, it's surrounded by things that are so amazing. So you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay, my darling Aquarius. This card is so typical of your sign. This is a card where somebody's working hard, you, working, doing all the stuff you need to do, and you're not really that satisfied with the outcome. It's either not happening quickly enough, or it's not enough money, or it's, whatever it is, you want more. Reasonable, because you are a hard worker, you deserve better, and you'll get it. You will. So don't be upset about this. You will get what you're putting in. You will, I promise you. Then we have two of the most powerful cards in the deck. They really, really are. The Fool is, some people see the Fool and they go, oh, the Fool, that sounds like an idiot. It isn't, I promise you. The Fool is brilliant. The Fool is in tune with the universe. The Fool knows that when he steps off the cliff with his little dog, unlike everybody else, he's going to be okay. He's going to be fine. This might be a risk that you might want to take, that you're going to do something outside of the ordinary and step off that cliff. It might be that you just feel like you're free. Something has broken these bonds. Whatever this is, maybe this is a very significant month for you. Maybe these are the bonds that are breaking, and then you're going to be the Fool, because it is in succession. And then you're going to be free and footloose and fancy free is a wonderful phrase I love. You're going to be knowing the universe has your back. You're going to know that, whatever the force is that rules us is totally on your side. I think that's the overall sort of gist I'm getting from this card reading. And then the Chariot. The Chariot is a card. I've had people I've read for 30 years, literally 30 years, and they never get this card, because we tend to get the same cards over and over, or at least certain cards over and over. The Chariot means you have the control. Even though there are no reins in the card, you have the reins of your own life. So you have the power. You have the power to rule and run your own life. You're an amazing person. Aquarius, you guys are so unique and so, you have an ability to absorb knowledge like a sponge. So I'm just going to say, as a piece of advice, as a card reader, absorb every bit of knowledge you can as a sponge. And then you can feel the confidence you need to have to do whatever you want in life. I know you have that capacity, and you can just run it however you want. Don't let other people tell you what to do, because they don't know what to do. You do. You do. You are the smart one in the batch of people. And then this card is such a wonderful card. This card is all about celebration. Bringing people in, hospitality, having the means to do so. It's a beautiful card. It's a wonderful card. This reading, I know there's this, and you might go, oh my God, that card's so negative. It really isn't so negative. We all have some of this, let's be honest here. But just set it aside. You're going to be fine. You're going to be better than fine, trust me. You're going to be celebrating. You're going to be running your life. You've got all this, I was going to say passionate energy, but with you guys, sometimes it tends to be a little dispassionate, which can serve you very, very well in life, very well. So I feel really, really great about this reading, and I hope you do too. And I hope to talk to you soon. Have a wonderful rest of the month. Take care.